Things are gonna get better now, but you're still a drunken slob. Things are gonna get better now.
Yes.
You wish you
Not a
Thursday.
It got a whole lot better. As always, thank you for listening. Headbangers and Hooligans. Your favorite show. Or at least it should be. I'm pretty excited. Yes, yours truly, Scummalicious. You can hear it. It's in the voice. I'm all shaky. The anticipation of the Nuke War album. I'm telling you. Pre-ordered. And I gotta admit something. I gotta get this. I gotta talk about this before I dive into Iron Maiden here. I'm going to download the album. Yes, I went to Amazon, and I'm still getting the physical album, but for the first time in my entire life, yeah, I bought the MP3 version. So basically, after midnight, I get to listen to the Blood of Gods. And I figure I'll have a good 5 to 6 complete listens. Is that even a fucking word? Listens? Or the way I used it there? 5 or 6 times the complete album by 9 o'clock, I'm thinking. And, yeah. I'm telling you, me personally, I like the first 3 that I've heard. The last one, don't really know how I feel about that one. I saw a few of the comments, and I thought some of them were a little ridiculous. But in a way, I kind of agree with them. I love the old style that they're kind of going back to on the songs that I've heard, that Scumdogs the Universe era, but I don't want them to go too far. I want them to maintain a little bit of that heaviness, and so either way, it'll be an interesting video. When I review the album, I'll just let you in on that little secret. Got a few surprises for you. Alright. So the top 50 albums of all time, because of the special day tomorrow, got pushed back to today. And that's okay. Listen, this is taking nothing away from Iron Maiden. Alright? Killers. Does that really surprise you? My number 9 album of all time, out of my top 50, is Killers. And this album, wow. I was listening to it this morning, and I remember the first time I heard this on cassette. I have the cassette and the CD, by the way. That says a lot about me. Talk about sickening. I don't think I really liked it that much. And the reason for that, I had heard Number of the Beast and Peace of Mind before I heard Killers. And I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, that ain't Bruce Dickinson. Yeah, that shows you. Not only did that show my age, but it also shows a sign of the times. The only way I kept up on a lot of these bands was through magazines. I didn't know at the time that Bruce Dickinson had not always been the lead singer. I thought, I don't know. And then, of course, over time, it just, that, paul-dianno, the voice, it's so unique. And I beat that to fucking death 100 times too. Let's do this. Number 9, album, all time, Scummalicious style, Killers. Iron Maiden. 1981, the lineup was paul-dianno vocals, Dave Murray, Adrian Smith on guitar, Steve Harris on bass, and Clive Burr on drums. And to a lot of hardcore Iron Maiden fans, Clive Burr is the man. That's just the stuff that I've read, and when you watch the videos on YouTube, a lot of fans say all the time, Nico McBrain is good, but he ain't no Clive Burr. I think they're both really good. I think they're the same. That's just my opinion. Anyway, The Ides of March. This is how this album kicks off. It's an instrumental. Dun, 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 dun. And no band can record an instrumental that sounds really good like Iron Maiden. Rarely do you listen to instrumentals and get excited to want to hear them again. Def Leppard has one, by the way, Switch 625 off High and Dry, that's really good. But, wow. They just incorporate melody into these instrumentals, and you keep coming back. Nice little intro, and it kicks into Wratchild, right? 'Cause I'm a Wratchild, cause I'm a Wratchild, I'm coming to get you, ooh yeah, yeah, dun 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 dun. And I know a lot of people, and I tend to agree, Paul-Dianno brought that punk edge to the band, and you can definitely hear it on this song. It's still an Iron Maiden song, but it does have that hardcore punk feel to it. I was born into a scene of angriness and greed, of dominance and persecution. My mother was a queen, my dad I'd never seen. I was never meant to be. Now I spend my time looking all around for a man that's nowhere to be found. Till I find him, I'm never going to stop searching. I'm going to find my man. Gonna travel around. What a great song. And I like the way that Bruce Dickinson sings it too. I will always prefer the Paul-Dianno version, but Bruce Dickinson, his version doesn't bother me either when they perform it live. And then we get to Murders in the Rue Morgue. Same title of a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. And wow, this has just got some really cool lyrics. But the intro on this is so awesome. Do 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 do. You know, we get the clean guitar, and of course Steve Harris is a monster on bass. I always talk about Matt Freeman from Rancid. You know, that's the man, to me, on bass for punk bands. That's who bass players should look up to. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. I know a lot of people hate the way he kind of goes off on his own. I love it. It adds something different, especially in punk music. Well, Steve Harris is the god of bass for metal bands. He's the godfather of bass guitar, for me anyway. And he writes most of their songs. And the way he incorporates the bass line at the beginning of this song with the clean guitar, and then the other guitars playing the cool melody, it's so cool. And then of course it kicks in, we get the distortion, and Clive Burr, dun, 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 dun. You know, typical Iron Maiden. And Paul-Dianno sings, I remember it as plain as day, although it happened in the dark of night. I was strolling through the streets of Paris. It was cold, it was starting to rain. Dun, dun, dun. And then I heard a piercing scream, and I rushed to the scene of the crime. But all I found was the butchered remains of two girls laying side by side. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Dun, dun, dun. Someone called the gendarmes. Dun, 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 dun. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Fight before the killers go free. By the way, I had no idea what gendarmes means. It makes me feel really stupid when I say that, because I really don't know the definition of it. Maybe someone can explain it to me. But we are talking about Edgar Allan Poe, and he had some really crazy, dark poems that he wrote. He used a lot of big words that confused the shit out of me, so that ain't saying much. So we transition from Murders in the Rue Morgue, which dynamic, right? Another word that I like to use. That really explained Murders in the Rue Morgue. You know, start out soft, and then the distortion kicks in. They kick into a different speed. And Iron Maiden, they transition in and out to different speeds and tempos better than anybody. I mean, they really are, to me, the most technical, to me, the perfect sounding metal band. And that's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people, what the fuck are you talking about, especially with all the death metal bands and all the crazy shit that they play. And I know that they're good musicians. But to me, Iron Maiden, they're the kings of all that shit. And especially when you compare them next to Judas Priest. Now, Judas Priest rips off some badass solos, especially like on Screaming for Vengeance. Holy shit. But a lot of times, a lot of their rhythm guitars, really basic, simple shit. Nothing wrong with that. But Iron Maiden, they're definitely, their stuff is more complicated, technical, but it's still really fun shit to listen to. It's not easy to pull that off. Another Life, next song. As I lay here lying on my bed, sweet voices coming into my head. What it is I want to know. Please tell me you got to go. And this is another one. Kind of got that punk vibe to it, right? There's a feeling that's inside me, telling me to get away, yeah. But I'm so tired of living, I might as well end today. Yeah, those little fills at the end of these verses, and there's really no chorus in the song. It's just the verses, and they repeat them, and I like that. Mix it up. It's not just verse, chorus, end. Nothing wrong with that. Then we get Genghis Khan. Remember that? It's kind of weird. Yeah, and you usually don't find this on any album, especially nowadays. It's another instrumental. And I remember the first time I listened to this, and I was thinking, wow, how many bands start an album with an instrumental, and then three songs later, another instrumental? Well, it's Iron Maiden, so they can get away with it. I don't think a lot of other bands could have got away with that. Decent song. I don't think it's as good as the Ides of March, but it's still pretty good. Alright. Then we get to the last song. Kind of doing it cassette style. Oh, I'm doing it both ways, which is funner to review it as a cassette. Innocent Exile. My life is so empty, nothing to live for. My mind is all confusion, because I defied the law. And the bass guitar in this, the bass line is so crazy. He's going all over the place. And the guitar rhythm is kind of basic, but it's okay, right? Because it keeps the song catchy. It sticks in your head. When you weren't there to help me, I lost my mind and ran. I never had no trouble before this all began. No. It's just the fills that they put in there. It's just so fucking good. Like a lot of younger bands, metal bands, say, hey, what do we need to do? Just listen to Iron Maiden. Listen to Iron Maiden. Listen to all the little things they do. It'll make you a better musician immediately. Of course, it's not as easy to pull it off as they do. I know, because I've tried. You can't be in a garage band and think you're just going to put in Iron Maiden and learn how to play it. It doesn't work that way. I wish it was that way, you know. It's like, hey, put in the Ramones. Fuck yeah. I killed it, dude. Oh, did ya? Yeah. Learned the whole album in like 45 minutes. What about Iron Maiden? Oh, I did good. Got through 40 seconds the first song. I'll get there, though. Alright. Cassette flips over, and we get the title track, Killers. What an amazing song. Once again, Steve Harris and the bass line, and then Clive Burr just kind of doing the little, just kind of sitting there with the cymbals. And wow, yeah, do 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 do, dun 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 dun. I just love all the little stuff going on. When I was reviewing the Lillingtons album last week, Stella Saliente, I was talking about all the layers. Iron Maiden, obviously. There's always a lot of layers to these songs. The intro, the bass guitar is doing its own thing. Got the rhythm guitar playing this neat, clean guitar riff, and then the other guitar, the distortion kicks in. We got Clive Burr coming in, and they just pull it off so effortlessly. Kind of jealous. And the lyrics, Paul-Dianno, I love these. You walk through the subway, his eyes burn a hole in your back. There's that little fill part again. And like I always say, make sure you listen to the actual album so you can actually hear how good it is, not my sound effects. Although my sound effects are good, they're getting better. I practice them every day. A footstep behind you. He lunges, prepared for attack. Scream, for mercy. He laughs as he's watching you bleed. Killer, behind you. His bloodlust defies all his need. Oh, and that the rhythm guitar, the main riff, is fucking insane. Whatever he's doing with his picking style there, Adrian Smith or Dave Murray, it's insane. It's really fast, and all the shit that they do, the scales, the arpeggios, and the double picking and dual melody guitar leads, where they're playing 100 notes a second and they're playing them at the exact same time. It's just mind-boggling, obviously. And then I love this verse here. I have no one, any bound to destroy all this greed. A voice inside me, compelling to satisfy me. And the solo in this, it's either Adrian and then Dave, or vice versa. And they both just fucking shred. And both guitars sound good as fuck playing those solos. That's the best way to describe it. God, I love the song Killers, obviously. It's a great title track. Alright, then we get Prodigal Son. This is very interesting because my cassette and the CD are different as far as the tracks. On the cassette, Twilight Zone is the song, but on my CD, it's Prodigal Son. So, yeah, I'm going back to the CD. I'll just flip back and forth. Of course, I'm not going to say ballad. Iron Maiden ballad, does that sound right? But it has that feel. Listen to me, Lamia. Listen to what I've got to say. I've got these feelings and they won't go away. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na. But the main part of the song, it's kind of mid-tempo. Oh, but what does Iron Maiden do in the middle when the solo comes in? Completely change it. Guitar, the rhythm guitar plays a new melody, and it's so good. And the fucking solo just, I'm telling you, it's a chicken skin solo. That's what it does to me. It gives me goosebumps. And what a name, huh? Lamia? That's the girl's name he's singing about. Oh, Lamia, please try to help me. The devil's got a hold of my soul, and he won't let me be. Lamia, I've got this curse. I'm turning to bad. The devil's got a hold of my soul, and it's driving me mad. And I'm telling you, that was one of those songs when I first heard it. I'd always fast forward and skip it. I listen to it every time now. Definitely, it's a song that I relate to a lot better as I've gotten older. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of songs are like that. Slow growers, as I like to call them. Alright. Then, Purgatory. I think this is one of the greatest songs I've ever written. It is incredible. First off, the speed of the drums on this, Clive Burr, unbelievable. All the little drum fills that he's doing on this song, and it's so fast. The guitars on it, and they're playing just this great melodic riff, only it's going 100 miles an hour. I don't know how they pulled it off. Thinking of an age-old dream, places I've never seen. Fantasies live times before I split my brain, melt through the floor. Dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. The little fills, trust me, they played a lot faster than that. Then they kick right back into the main riff of the song. Over clouds, my mind will fly forever now. I can't think why. My body tries to leave my soul. Is it me? I just don't know. And then they sing another verse, and the chorus. Oh, another time, another place. Oh, well, another smile on another face. When you see me floating up beside you, you get the feeling that all my love's inside of you. And of course, just another amazing solo. But, oh my, I love this song. Please take me away, so far away. Like, so many different parts, so many different melodies that they can fit into one song, and they fit together. It's still the same song. They make it work. Sometimes it feels like they're playing 5 different songs at once, and they infuse them together. It's I am so glad that he's talked about this album. I know, shocker, right? Oh, really? You like to talk? You have to be fucking kidding me, Scummalicious. What a shocker. Then we get to Twilight Zone. And I think that on the cassette, let me look, yeah, see, Prodigal Son would actually have been the 3rd, and Purgatory had been 4th. Who was the record company behind this? What the fuck makes a difference? Just leave it the way it was. Seriously. Quit confusing people, especially people like me. Obviously, you can tell it's not really hard to confuse me sometimes. So Twilight Zone, she lays in bed at night, and that's when I make my call. But when she stares at me, she can't see nothing at all, because you see, I can't take no shape or form. It's been 3 long years since I've been gone. And then I can't get used to Purgatory. They like that word, don't they? At the time they did. You know, it really makes me cry. I'll never know the reason why I had to go. Oh, and it's a simple part, but the guitar melody on this it's so perfect. And with these words especially, I'm crying deep inside me. Can't you see me? Ah, can't you see me? And I hate it when I read that paul-dianno, oh yeah, he just didn't have the range of Dickinson. He was limited vocally. But don't make it sound like he couldn't sing. Maybe he couldn't hit all the different notes that Dickinson can, but he was still a good singer. And he sounded perfect on this album with the music that they had written. His voice was perfect for it. And I know, especially Steve Harris, he wanted a different singer, especially with all the songs that he was writing. And I can understand that. But he just wasn't... Some people make it sound like he was just the shitty, trashy vocalist. He was a good singer, and he sounded really good, especially on this album. Number 9 of all time, bitches. Alright, and it ends with such an underrated track, Drifter. And this definitely, the first time I heard this, I was like, wow, this is the most un-Iron Maiden-like song I've ever heard. It's a great song, but when you first hear it, you're like, what? That just doesn't sound like something Iron Maiden would sing or play, but I'll tell you, I love it. Look out, baby, won't you take me away? Dun, dun, dun. Sitting here, think it's gonna be any day. Gonna sing my song, but I can't go on. Gotta keep on rolling, gotta sing my song. And what's crazy is I say it's the most un-Iron Maiden sounding like song I've ever heard, and Steve Harris wrote it. So, but this is another one, especially towards the end. We get a kind of a wah-wah pedal infused guitar solo that just slays, and it fits perfectly with the song, just like all their other guitar solos. And I just love the way it ends. Gonna sing my song, yeah, and it won't take long. Gonna sing my song, yeah. Won't you sing along? I want you to sing it some more, you know. And then at the end he says, "'Cause I'm a drifter, drifting now, yeah, duh." I don't know. It just, like, you could tell that Paul-Dianno really connected with this song, because he's feeling it. He was feeling it on this one. At least that's what it sounded like to me. And yeah, Drifter. What a way to close out this album. Such a great song. And obviously, like I say about all these albums in my top 50, there are no fillers, right? And it really is a unique Iron Maiden album. You don't get a ton of 7-8 minute long songs, but that's okay. You still get really talented musicians writing maybe not super technical songs that they would go under. Well, I might as well go ahead and say Steve Harris means he writes most of their songs. They would get more technical as they progressed as a band, but you can hear it, the talent's still there. Just some great songs, and I love the punk that Paul-Dianno brings. Always will. You know, that's why I'm a headbanger and a hooligan. Part of that is because of Paul-Dianno. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. But I'll definitely link the album on my page, and you can listen to it, kind of get your mind right for tomorrow, because our ears are about to explode tomorrow when we hear that good shit coming from Gore. All right, you know how to do this. Take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. Yeah, you bet your ass you better take it twice. I'm out.